pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
God.
Thanks, everybody, for coming to the Village Board Workshop tonight. We didn't schedule the public hearing for the short-term rentals for tonight. And I mentioned to some of the board members in passing that both the board has a lot of subjective changes and the attorney has a lot of subjective changes. So probably the next meeting will probably close the public hearing. We won't take any action on the law that is now in front of the public. We're going to make all the changes to the law, and then we'll reintroduce it to the public, and then we'll do another public hearing. There's a lot of changes that we have to make to it. So with those many changes, we have to reintroduce it to the public. They're not minor changes, they're pretty major. We got information from residents, we got information from public hearing, minutes, attorney, and board. So once we make those changes, and I think a lot of people will be happier with it once it's all done. So we need to reintroduce that because of the amount of changes we're making. Not necessarily the amount, it's just the subject matter. So I just want to give everybody, just kind of give the community an update. So first on the agenda is to approve bills and claims. Warrant number 2508A for fiscal year 25-26. The total amount is $536,122.84, of which roughly $400,000 of that is represented by police, fire, retirement, and also all the other employees' retirement. So it's that time of year where we cut that check to the state. So I need a motion and a second to approve the bills and claims.
Make the motion.
Motion by trustee Ramus, seconded by trustee Carroll. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any questions, comments? Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have an appointment for a 90-day appointment for a provisional full-time dispatcher, Greg Jones, effective immediately, with 1 year of employment probation per the recommendation of Police Chief Torpy. It sounds a little weird because it's a year of probation, but the 90 days has to come first based upon how we have to hire this particular individual who's already working part-time. It's an HR or civil service thing, so we have to do it this way. So I just need a motion and a second to approve that.
Make the motion.
Motion by trustee Ramus, seconded by trustee Gargiulo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Questions? Motion carried. Thank you very much.
Pardon me, so there's two full-time now dispatchers?
Yes. Yep. We have a new member to the Highland Falls Fire Department, who's also one of our DPW members, who actually used to be in the fire department. Member Joseph Lennon is recommended by the Highland Falls Fire Department Chief Eric Smith. He has passed the required background check and was approved by the Highland Falls Fire Department. I need a motion and a second to approve Mr. Lennon. Motion by trustee Gargiulo, seconded by trustee Olivia. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Questions? Motion carried. Thank you so much.
Hey, he's doing a wonderful job too with the DPW.
He's doing great. Doing great. Who did that? Okay. We had a couple vehicles that we had surplus a while back. We put them on our auction site. I apologize, I'm a little under the weather tonight, so bear with me. Hopefully I don't affect, well, hopefully I affect some of the board members, but none of the public. So the first one was a 2013 Ford 550 dump truck with a plow. It definitely got its useful life with us. The high bid was $13,800. And vehicle 2 was DPW 1998 International 2574 hook lift truck. We got $16,700 for that. So all total we got $30,500. I was hoping for like 2025, so we did pretty damn good, I think. So I just need whereas this is a resolution I'm going to read for the board. Whereas state law requires equipment no longer needed by a municipality to be sold at fair market value after declaring it surplus and no longer needed. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Trustees accepts the highest bids for the surplus vehicles as follows. Of the two I mentioned, Vehicle 1, which is the Ford 2013 F550, $13,800. Vehicle 2, which is the DPW 1998 International, for $16,700. On a motion by Trustee Olivia, seconded by Trustee Carroll. The foregoing resolution was adopted and the results were as follows.
Trustee Ramus?
Yay.
Trustee Olivia?
Yay.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Gardullo?
Yes.
Mayor DeSalvo?
Yes. That's great, thank you. Next on the list is a resolution. A while back, the board approved a secondary fiber optic company to come into Highland Falls called Greenlight and to provide internet service. So, in working with them, the proposal we approved has been worked on a little bit and tweaked with both the company and our attorney. So we have to repass it because we made some minor changes to help protect us as a village. So whereas Greenlight is a provider of fiber optic internet services that provide such internet services to consumers and businesses in and around the village of Highland Falls, and whereas Greenlight and the Village Board of Trustees desire to enter into a mutually beneficial relationship under which Greenlight would house certain network and other equipment at Village Hall. Now therefore be it resolved on a motion by Trustee Ramus, and seconded by Trustee... Oh, you guys want to fight over it, or?
No.
Okay, she can have it, okay. Trustee Olivia, the Village of Highland Falls Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the mayor and/or deputy mayor to execute an agreement with Greenlight to provide fiber optic internet services to the village by granting Greenlight the authority to place equipment on the third floor and/or roof of the village hall, subject however to final approval of the said agreement by the village attorney. The resolution was approved on a roll call vote as follows. And the reason why, just so the board knows and the public knows, is that we have the mayor and/or deputy mayors, because right now I have a notary stamp, so the document has to be notarized. We had two members in the village hall get their notary, so they're just waiting for their stamps. So I may have the deputy mayor sign it and I can notarize it. So I just need a roll call.
Trustee Ramus?
Yay.
Trustee Olivia?
Yes.
Trustee Carroll?
Yes.
Trustee Gardullo?
Yes.
Mayor DeSalvo?
Yes. And also for the public to know, Greenlight will also be paying us rent to be here.
What's the timer for this?
They're ready to move. So when we execute this, I would expect by next week they're gonna be here starting to work. Yeah.
Awesome.
And they have a whole team. They came up and saw the spot. They liked the spot. They're gonna do the work. They do all the electrical. They do everything. They put the room the way they need it.
Yeah.
And then they just provide the internet service, which I think is gonna be great. And an
Yeah, people are
alternative.
excited about this,
An
yeah.
alternative for folks, and we collect a little rent. Everybody's
There's not
happy.
any structural work of any kind being done upstairs, right? They're just kind of adding into the space?
Adding into it, yep.
They're not like cutting into walls or anything
Nope.
like that, right?
Nope.
Okay.
There may be some minor stuff that they do, because they're also putting like a split unit in there.
Right.
So that has to go in that room, and some other stuff maybe for electrical, but nothing, when you say structural, like, no,
Yeah, like
they're not
no
changing
changes to the-
load-bearing walls, no.
Okay.
What goes on the roof?
Probably the condenser, the small condenser for the AC split unit, AC heat split unit, and maybe some other minor equipment. But remember, we had all that structurally looked at when they put the other thing up there, so we're okay. We're good on that, right? Okay. Thank you so much for the... So, as I mentioned, with the permitting and regulating short-term rental property within 1- and 2-family homes, it's really, we haven't changed the law. By law, we can't change the law because that's what's been out in the public, so we have a lot of changes. Next meeting, we'll close the public hearing, take no action on the current law, make the changes, put it back out to the public. So there'll be another opportunity for the public to see the new law and then comment on that. And the last thing I have on the agenda tonight is a schedule of fees, which is a little outdated for us. So we have some recommendations that we got from the police chief. We got some recommendations from trustee Olivia. We got some recommendations from trustee Gargiulo. We got some recommendations from trustee Ramus. We got some recommendations from trustee Carroll. I threw a couple numbers in there too, so it was a very good collaborative effort. I appreciate it very much. I don't know that we have to, if there's a public hearing required for these fees.
I don't know the answer, I can get back to you.
Okay, so we don't have to approve them tonight. I don't think we have to have a public hearing for these fees, but just so the public knows, some things may sound a little outdated, but they keep them on the books. Games of chance, blasting permit, boat recovery. I don't know we did boat recovery. I don't think we do, but house trailers, jukebox permit, live entertainment, junkyard license. We don't have any junkyards, so that's great. Sewer hookups, towing licenses, water meter service, water bond. Water bond would be if they're doing a project. Water service change, water additional sum, water service charge, water discontinuing service, water restoring service. Again, a lot of these are already on the books now. We're just changing the amount. Some of them were $50 for a lot of these things. Tapping water charges for a 3/4 inch pipe, 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch. Some other stuff. Park within 20 feet of an intersection. The old ticket was $35. This would go to $80. Parked on a sidewalk. Seems kind of silly, but I guess people do it. Parked the wrong direction. Parked outside a line space. Parked in no parking zone. Limited time parking. Obstruction of snow removal. That's a good one we should talk about for a minute. I don't know how many tickets are up to. 120, 110. It's not live tonight. I'm going to do a video tomorrow, but I can't stress enough for people to move their cars. I don't really know what is so difficult about it. Well, I take that back. I lived on Church Street. One of my first apartments was from a nice family, the Pachettas on Church Street. And it was a lovely apartment, but there was no parking. There was parking on the main road, but not on, not on a driveway. And the worst two times were when it was snowing and when you had to do laundry. So I get it, but we're also in the process of hiring a couple additional tow companies. So, you don't want to pay that tow fee on top of a ticket. And then we're going to talk about the tickets, because I know there's some people out there that say, don't worry about the ticket. Well, that's going to change too now. So, save yourself some money and just move the car. Maybe get a little exercise too. It can't hurt, don't slip.
There's a lot of spaces left after.
A lot of spaces. There was like 40 spaces in a municipal lot last snowstorm. And I know the timing of the snowstorm wasn't great, or was during the day, and it was all day, and then it went into the next day. But, it's silly. We can't clean the streets. Then I have some keyboard warriors on Facebook saying we're not plowing right, we're not removing snow right, tow this car, tow that car, ticket this person. And some of those people who tell you to tow cars on Facebook are the same people who get upset about paying a ticket, get upset about paying a bill. It's a lot of money to tow a car. The board doesn't want to go around saying who cars should be towed or not. It could be a $600-700 bill. That's a lot of money. Sometimes the car might only be worth $1,000. So, for a first-time driver. So just move the cars. We have a storm potentially coming this weekend that could be very significant. Cars are going to get towed. The cars are getting towed on this storm, because it's just one of those storms that if as soon as you let it go, and I'm sure there's some people in the room now that could shake their head up and down, yes, if we don't do it right as we're doing it, it's only going to compound as we go, depending on how much snow we get. So, please, for those people that watch the video, and I'm going to bring it up tomorrow in a live video on Facebook, because we're sending out text messages. We put it on the website. It's in the newspaper. Thank you, News of the Highlands. We do live posts on Facebook. We all the trustees who are on Facebook share it. we have a Facebook page. And then there's the great little yellow piece of paper you get when you park and when it's snowing. So you have plenty of notification. So please just move the cars. So we'll get back to the board on how we're going to approve this probably next meeting for our schedule of fees and charges.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is water non-compliance? What is that?
Dale could probably break that down to you because they just abbreviate some of this stuff, but I don't want to give you a half-jerked answer.
Yeah, I'll ask. 'Cause I'm not
Yeah,
pretty
ask
sure.
Dale, but it was already on the books that we had. It could be a fee that if someone's building a house and they're just doing a hookup and they didn't follow the rules, or they didn't check with our water department full, and they just hooked something up without our giving us, the clearance to go, you may pay a fine on top of whatever hookup fee you'd pay, so. And lastly but not leastly, in talking with trustee Olivia, you would think you were running this year, as many times as I say your name. Huh?
I'll take that.
I know, right? I keep doing it, So trustee Olivia and I talked a while ago about, the ticket situation that the village cops write. So if a village cop writes a ticket on a village street, it goes to court, you could pay the fine. Most people go to court and pay the fine. But for the folks who don't pay the fine, whether they feel that it won't count towards them, DOT won't know about it, it won't follow me, I'm not worried about it, those times are changing. In speaking with, we tried a couple different ways. First was to try to set up through a thing through New York State, and as most things with New York State, we didn't get the response we were hoping for. Actually, I don't think we got any, but that's okay, we endeavor on. So the chief looked into this company, and also trustee Ramus brought this company's name up to me too for a couple of things. It's called T2 Solutions. And I had the chief go back a couple of years, and the village did this a long time ago. We did this, I want to say a decade ago. Long story short, there's about $120,000 in unpaid parking and/or unpaid village tickets. That's a significant sum of money.
We're not the only community.
No. So I would highly recommend the town do this too. So this company comes in, they actually use them in Monroe, and the chief, we send the chief goes to these Orange County Association of Chiefs meetings, and this is where he kind of worked on it. So I'll just read you a little excerpt from the letter he sent us. The court staff does not enforce scofflaw on parking violations, and the ticket remains on the list of unpaid parking tickets. This has become problematic. As many members of the community know, there is nothing that happens to them if they do not pay the ticket. There is no follow-up by the court and no scofflaw enforcement. Through my research, I have learned that the other villages in the county also do not enforce scofflaw on unpaid parking tickets, so it's a common thing. In Washingtonville, if a person does not pay a village parking ticket, the fine will go on their village property tax. And at the end of the year, if they are a property owner, if they do not pay the ticket, and they are not, it will go on their property. It will go on the property owner. If they do not pay the ticket and they are not the property owner, they do not go after the person, and the ticket is added to the list of unpaid tickets, similar to us. In Monroe, as part of the downtown revitalization grant, they put in a modern parking kiosks and hired a FBS Justice Solutions to manage all parking tickets collected. FBS will issue letters and threaten civil judgment for 29% of the revenue collected. They do not scofflaw the tickets either. Warwick, Chester, Goshen use a company called T2 Solutions. The cost of the ticket writer and their services is approximately $3,000 to $4,000 per year. Chief Rich from Goshen told me that he likes the program, and since their village switched to this company, he noticed more compliance to paying the tickets. He believes this company also manages the ticket issued and provides collection services for a percentage of the monies collected on unanswered tickets. So it's a twofold issue. We're going to go after tickets that have already been out there. And our other thing is compliance. We have a compliance issue, whether it's to feed the meters, whether it's to move the car during snow removal, whether it's, there was a Mazda on Main Street Were we driving around that day? Yep, I mean, it looked like he came in like the Dukes of Hazzard and just spun it around, and he was parked the opposite direction. I don't even know how he got like that. So, all this stuff, it's long overdue. We talked about it. Actually, Chief Scott brought it to us one time, and I don't think we didn't move on it. I think the companies have gotten a little better, and this seems more cost effective, but definitely on the moving forward. We'll see what it costs us moving back. But even if it's $100,000 and we're able to accrue 70% of it, 60% of it, I mean, that's money that we could use to offset taxation. So I think it's a good thing. I advise the chief to move forward with it, and then once we have all the numbers, I'll bring it back to the board.
How far can we reach back?
I had him go back, I think, 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So we'll see when we engage the company and see how far back and see if it, the costs may go up the further you go back. Don't know. Let's see where we're at. But even going back a few years, it's 6 figures, so.
And can you utilize both the tax?
We can look into that as well, yeah. But I think for us, I think we have such a fluctuation of residents that I think it will stick better, that we can take care of everything in one shot. But we'll engage the company when they come. We'll ask them for all the scenarios. And then once we have the hard numbers, we'll bring it to the board for approval.
And when are you coming from vacation?
The chief went away on vacation, I can't believe it. He's on a cruise while we're all freezing to death. But when he comes back, he's gonna set a meeting up, and then we'll have that all squared away.
We
Yes, sir.
also have
What is it?
meeting.
What does the town do as far as collecting money, from the court?
Right now, if you get a ticket, if we write you a ticket, it goes down to the Town of Highlands Court. And either you pay the ticket, you go to court, or you forget about it. Either on purpose or,
They don't have a way to collect it? 'Cause they hold
they
the money
don't,
anyway.
they won't.
Why? They hold the money anyway.
They don't have,
If people pay it.
well, no,
You guys get
if they
it.
pay it, we get it.
Yeah.
If they pay a village ticket, we get a portion of it, yes. That's happening now.
If they give them a town ticket and they don't get paid, what do they
I don't
do?
know. I don't know. I'm not on the board down there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So,
This letter from the chief, it says that money collected by the court goes to the state comptroller's office before it comes back to us.
yes,
If it goes through that whole process, somebody pays it, it goes through the whole process, how much of that
no,
ticket do we?
this we will collect. This will
No, I
come
know,
to
but
us.
as it is right now, if somebody gets a parking ticket, they pay it, it goes up to the comptroller's office and it comes back to us,
It
right?
depends on how the ticket's written, right? So if it's a village fine, on us, we'll get the village amount. So if they write a ticket that's a village code, so in other words, if they pick you up, if they stop you for speeding on a road, any road, and they write it as a state violation of speeding, it goes to the state. We don't get $1. If they write a ticket and say, hey, either it's a speeding violation, or depending on the severity of the incident, they may say, you're not wearing your seatbelt. If we have a village code on the books for our village streets, they'll write it for that. We'll get that money, minus the court fees that, if they pay to court.
So all of this stuff that's on the schedule of fees, this would be.
Different,
village stuff.
99% of this, you pay at Village Hall. This is different than,
Okay.
except for the parking, the ticket ones.
No.
These are village code stuff. The snow removal, the obstructing, blocking parkway, blocking driveway on a village street. Park within 15 feet of a fire hydrant, that's a village code. Parked in a handicap without permit. Not sure about that one, but we do have that on the books too, because when we pass those spots. Parked on the sidewalk would be us. But if it's a speeding ticket or something of that nature, and also depending on the road they write it on, if it's not a village street that they're not on, like if it's 218, that goes to the state.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
Our police department probably spends half their time giving tickets on the highway, 9W or 218. We don't get anything for that, the state gets, and it's our dime they're making.
Let me find out what those numbers are before I confirm that. Because I think they do probably at least 50-50, but let me get the data. Let me see where more of the tickets are getting written. Because I do see our officers up there on 9W once in a while.
I see them up there a lot.
Yeah, well, that's because you're speeding. So slow down.
I got my eye out for them.
Slow down, you know? But anyway, let me find that data out. I'm sure they have it, you know, where they're writing more of the tickets, you know, in the village. I mean, it's still technically the village, but I know what you're talking about. So let me get those numbers for you.
And just so everybody knows, with the T2 Solution Company, and the information that we can program into the units that they'll be using, we can generate different types of tickets.
Yep.
So with that being said, in the T2 system, we can actually do a warning ticket, which I think is community friendly for your first time. And then you give them that warning ticket. The next time you go over there and they're parked sideways, you know, like they were the other day, and they're like, well, we didn't know. And then you go right into this handheld computer system, and it's gonna already say, you already have a warning,
Here's your ticket.
here's your ticket.
Right.
So it's a big plus
Yeah.
with T2 Solutions. I can streamline this.
It allows for continuity between officers too. If one officer gave you the warning and another officer's got you in the situation that you're in again, he or she doesn't have to worry about, you know, issuing the ticket because the warning will already be in the system. And in addition to that, if the town so chooses, they can also link into this system too with code enforcement down the road if they want to do that. That's up to them though. I can't tell the town what to do. I can ask them nicely, or we could pull out of the contract and do it ourselves, but maybe down the road that might be something they want to look at as well. Especially if it's to get rid of the rooster that's around the corner from my house. Might need your help on that, Mr. Wells.
No problem.
Okay, I like that, I like that.
Do it tonight?
Yeah, it's too cold, I won't let me out there.
Is this the full schedule of fees? Because I know that you had said previously that you wanted a fee for the dumpsters, like a 15-yard dumpster for like a clean out or something like that.
Yeah.
That you wanted that on
Is
here?
it-
I don't see
is it not
that.
there?
No, I don't see
Okay.
it here.
That might be my mistake.
And I was curious with this whole list here, can we add more to it?
Sure.
Like with what's on the list here for the police department,
We just have to have a law to go with it.
yeah, I know that it is on, what I'm looking to add is like an obstruction of sidewalks,
That we park on sidewalk.
but not necessarily with a vehicle. Because if we do like an obstruction of the sidewalks, that would almost cover snow removal and the garbage cans. The garbage cans that are on the sidewalks, I'm losing my mind over.
Well, where is that ticket on there for the sidewalk?
That's just a lawyer question.
Okay, well, I know, I did look it up under chapter 194 solid waste, subsection 15, the enforcement does say that the street superintendent, code enforcement, and police department can write violations under that chapter.
Okay.
So-
Is that a schedule
I'll have to double check,
The
but
actual
Yeah.
violation is.
the actual, yeah.
Is that the no shoveling?
Because if we can put that on here, then we can kind of start to.
Yeah, so the
resolve that situation.
dumpster fee was if they're getting a dumpster and they're putting it on a village street. Just something, because like we had one that was on Main Street that dinged the sidewalk and then we have to go repair it, so. Or if they put a divot in the street, I gotta cut it out and put some black, so if there's, you know, nothing crazy, but, you know, they should pay a little something because 9 out of 10 times something happens. And,
These are all the ones that are currently.
current, yeah, so
Yeah, where's
just
the
check
regular
on that
snow,
one.
where's the snow,
And
regular
then,
snow removal one?
do we have a tow fee on
Obstruction
here?
snow removal is on here.
So you
Yeah,
just want that
obstruction
to
of snow, yeah.
Total obstruction of sidewalks, yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that way you can
I can see
write, you
that.
know, that one
There's no
ticket
total- there
would
is
cover
total
any
license.
obstruction of the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
no, I can see that.
Towing license, okay, we changed that too.
It's fine with me.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yeah, totally is on.
Let me follow up on what Lisa said. Yesterday I was driving around checking streets and sidewalks.
Thank you,
Um,
thank you.
I went up Snyder Avenue and I took a right on Center Street. I went down to the intersection where Tobin Street connects Center Street. Right on the corner there, when you're around that corner, there's a couch there. And I was thinking to myself, if it snows and they plow up That's not gonna work out too well, trying to pile snow on top of the
Okay.
couch. And there's no sidewalk there. The couch is basically in the road, because there's no sidewalk next to that house.
Okay.
What can we do in that situation?
Well, we could talk to DPW and see if they want to move it.
What about the person who put it out?
We could probably check if they put it out for bulk pickup.
If they didn't call it in,
Yeah.
that's a violation, right?
But who put it out?
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
did the neighbor put it in front of my house?
Yeah,
It's
We can
something
find
that
out.
We would have
We'll
to
look,
try.
we will look into it. We'll look into it.
okay.
I'm sure that's not the only couch that's out right now, which is, I know that sanitation has been a sore subject for me. And I know that Councilman Sullivan has done a lot to try to mediate the bulk situation, which they've done a really good job about keeping up with the list and giving that to the building department. But even going through the building department with these kinds of tasks, it's a long process to remedy. And when you're talking about having a trash can sitting on the sidewalk, that's not something that you want to wait 30 days and due process and all of the extensive procedure that follows in that form. It's written in the code already that the police department can assist with those sanitation issues. So if we can include that, in this schedule of fees and allow and direct our police department to start really narrowing in on those types of violations, I think we would see some results, so.
Yeah, look, I don't have a problem. I understand what you're saying. I mean, the couple questions I would have is, so if I have a cop write a ticket, where's that, is the town keeping that revenue? Will we get it? That might be an easy question. And, I go back to, I'm trying to put this as mildly as possible, but I don't feel that great, so if I'm short and curt, I apologize. We cover too much for town-wide functions that we are consolidated with, all right? So, I know what you're saying, because I always like to just take care of the problem, right? Like I have a couple people right now who own property on Main Street and decided to just, I don't know what, I hate throwing big stuff out because I don't want to move it, but I don't know, people seem to love doing it. We got stuff out there right now that's huge tables and, couches and all that stuff, whatever, and they just put it out front. Okay. So my point is that sanitation's consolidated, code enforcement's consolidated. Some of this stuff, if we keep covering for, and I don't like the eyesore, believe me, because when it was going rampant, we were calling the DPW to help assist the sanitation department. But at some point, village taxpayers keep paying. And so I don't have a problem looking at it. I just want it to make sense. And if it's something that a consolidated service should be doing, then they should be doing it. Because we're paying for it anyway. We're constantly paying for it. We talk about code enforcement and building department. I found out the other day that in 2025, the town generated roughly $100,000 in fees at the building department. Actually, I wrote them down, look at that. The 2026 budget for the town building department is approximately $212,000. So, of that $100,000 in fees, as was stated at a town board meeting, 75% of that comes from the village. These are significant numbers that we keep.
So how does that revenue actually come back to the village?
We don't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't, because it's a consolidated service, and that's okay. I'm okay with that, but at the same time, we should be getting the service. And I know they're going through a lot, and this is not, before I start hearing all the chatter on Facebook, this is not a personal attack to any board members. It's not a personal attack to the building department employees. It's not a personal attack to the sanitation workers. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about the mantra. Okay, if we're paying for it, everybody in the village pays the townwide fund, it's a fund. We all pay for it. You got your town and county bill this month. There's a consolidated service, recreation, courts, sanitation, town building department. I mean, you know, and I know they're trying to hire people, and the last person was there for a very short time for a second person, but that keeps happening, and not sure why. There may be logical explanations for that, but at the same time, like, code enforcement for the village is very, you know, it's a hot button issue, you know that. We talk about it at least weekly. Trustee Gargiulo does too. Pete, Trustee Carroll, and Trustee, we all talk about it. So, we can look at it, I have no problem looking at it, but I want to be able to hold it, otherwise, what's the point? We might as well just get out of the contract, generate the revenue, and offset the expense that we're paying as village taxpayers anyway. Now, I don't know if they'll lower their amount that I'm paying in January, but I would beg to say that if enough residents went down there and said, hey, you don't have the same workload anymore, should you have the same amount? I don't know. Mary Therese Hanson, God rest her soul, did it for 1,000 years as part-time code enforcement officer, so, you know, anyway, I'm sorry, soapbox, but we find out.
That's fine, yeah, okay. The other thing I wanted to just touch on quickly was the operation of meters. I was just looking at this because going from $25, you know, a ticket to $30 a ticket, it was mentioned previously earlier in the year, and I was looking at it in the budget and just trying to do some basic math just to kind of gather my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
The total budget line for on-street parking is $20,000. But the revenue line for on-street parking is $15,000. So right off the bat, we're losing $5,000 every year with this process.
Yes and no.
How's it no?
The personal services portion is the one writing the tickets. The other portion is anything we'll spend on repairs to the meters. Now, I don't think we spend $5,000 a year. You know, I'm not arguing your numbers, I'm just saying we would have to check actual expenses versus the revenue portion.
Right, well, just as it's written in the budget.
Yeah, if you're just gonna go on what the budgeted amount is, yeah, because if we take in 20,000 in revenue, we're covered.
Right. But I was looking at it, the 16,500 of it in the budget is just for the salary for
Right,
the
yep.
meter, right? But at $25 a ticket, he'd have to work 5 days a week and write 12 tickets every day just to cover his salary.
Yeah, the revenue from that comes from the actual meters, the coin.
Not the ticket, the meter.
Yeah, not the tickets.
Well, that's another thing, just in how are the funds dispersed
Public
between our
safety.
consolidated
We
departments.
take that revenue in for tickets, anything to do with tickets is public safety. It's on the revenue side. And we will budget conservatively on that number in hopes that it, you know, comes in greater.
So the $8,000 that is on the revenue for the parking meters is only the actual change
Yeah.
that's collected.
Yeah, yes, sorry, shouldn't have said yeah. It's yes. Yeah, and then also we have the,
The EV chargers, yes.
Yep.
And that was like 7,000. Okay.
yep. It's approximately a net zero when you put it
How
all
about those
together.
parking kiosks? though?
So why don't we just get rid of
Because I have a
the
compliance.
employee
I gotta-
and make the parking free?
Because I,
No, we can't make the parking free because nobody's gonna move their, hold on, wait, nobody's gonna move their cars. And then it becomes
Yeah,
a
I
problem
gotcha.
for the business
Yeah.
owners, which it's, I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but then how do you tell them they can park outside all day long?
Yeah, I
You know
gotcha.
what I mean?
When
So,
we do the meter-
Unfortunately, sometimes we gotta with something like that.
we've
I like
talked
this
about this, we'll
parking
talk about it again at
kiosks.
budget time, no problem. But
Yeah.
when we do the December
I
thing,
love that idea.
the cover of the
Yeah.
meeting, forget it, like, people set up camp,
Yeah.
you know? So, so there's a lot of talk we can talk about, updating how we do it, I mean, a lot of places, where was I? I was in, oh man, I don't know where I was. The food was good, but I was across the river, and you had to go to a meter station.
Yeah.
Now, you had to climb over, I know it would go over so well here. You had to climb over like a mound and a half of snow to get to the thing, because the way, it was next to, the municipal lot was next to a private, so like the private guy puts it, a private person, I should say, puts it, it's supposed, anyway, long story short, you had to climb over the mountain of snow to feed the thing with the credit card, and then you had to come back to the car, put the thing in the car, and then go to your thing. So it would just be a little, change on how we did it. So we'll look at it all. I have no problem looking at that stuff. I
That
really
has an
want
app
to
though
do.
that alerts you that you're done.
Yeah,
I like that whole.
and a lot of
concept.
places are going to the app.
Yeah.
I just, I have to be cognizant of older community, are they using the app, but we'll talk about it, no problem. I definitely want to do that with the municipal lots,
Yeah.
1000%. They should be all numbered, they should be, go to a thing, pay for it. The one behind Town Hall and the one up at, across from Cigar Hut,
Yeah.
1000%, easy for the lots. You put your number, your spot you're in, put your plate or whatever, bam.
Yeah, I just like procedurally, we definitely leave a lot of money out on the street.
Sure.
In many different ways.
Absolutely.
So, to have some discussions and make some changes, I think.
Absolutely. You guys will all be engaged in this, really, you started your term, right? When did you start your term? You came in and approved the budget already, so now you're gonna be, don't worry, you're gonna have plenty of assignments. Give you all plenty of assignments.
Then you're gonna get a fork and a knife.
Yeah. Okay, you guys okay? Anybody else have anything?
Yeah,
Trustee-
actually, so,
Trustee Gargiulo, ladies first, sorry.
No, I just have one thing, because I just wanted to mention, we got a lot of guff when the electricity went out for Wyatt Green. And I just wanted to let you know that Trustee Olivia and I have a meeting with Chief Torby when he comes back, and the management company to see how they can, because it really came from the management company and not letting us know. But I know our officers got a lot of guff, so we're just going to try to tighten that up if that should ever happen again.
Great.
Just so that we know
That's good
that
stuff.
we're thinking about them.
I mean, you would think they would want us to know, but
Yeah, well, we'll get it wrapped up.
whatever.
We'll get it tightened up.
I'm sorry, Trustee.
No.
Did you have something that you?
No, go ahead.
No,
You
she
sure?
did.
Yeah.
She's been going on.
I spoke with Bill's clerk, Ms. Johnson, about Muni CoLab, and it's a permitting process. Now, I see we have a few permits that we issue here,
Uh-huh.
along with some other things, where anybody that wanted any of these permits or any other applications for, doing a water service hookups or anything like that, anything that applications are needed for, we can get into this Muni CoLab system. All the applications will be online. They go, they upload that, first of all, they have to fill out the information, then it gets approved by the village clerk or whoever we put in charge of that, and then they come in and pay the fee. It's used in Cornwall, Warwick, and a few other locations. I had an issue with one of the projects I was doing in Warwick and in Cornwall, and I called up Abe, who is one of the founders of this company, and he got back in touch with me like within less than 4 minutes. He called me right back, and the problem was solved. So it's a great thing as far as getting it streamlined for the permits and anything else that we can put on there.
Could that incorporate the landlord registry?
I'm not sure, but we can ask. So,
I would think anything we issue as a permit, probably.
right. So let's find out from Dave what's in his system first. And being that it's not brand new, but they're always looking for input and what else that they can do with this system, which would probably be a good thing.
Yeah, that'd be
And I'll
awesome.
give you guys an update once I have another small conference.
Nice. How much money do we generate from hawkers and peddlers? I'm mad that you didn't say hawkers and peddlers.
Not anything, because historically, if the village has been approached to do peddling, which is basically going door to door, it's an older law that was on the books. The Village of Highland Falls was founded in 1906, so
I'm just
when the
curious.
door-to-door salesperson was a thing,
Full of brush.
they would charge a fee for folks to go sell whatever, vacuums or whatever. But since then, in the modern age, we haven't done that, especially with all the craziness of fraud and elder abuse and.
Get rid of it.
Get
you
rid of
name-
that?
We can, we totally can, but we did have an interested organization that wanted to come in and do it, and I had just given them the historical background. Historically, we had somebody that actually came in one time, I was on the board, I'll never forget it. I don't even know what they wanted to sell, but all we did was table it, we took no action. So, but we could definitely take it off the books, it's not a problem. Other communities do have it, Village of Harriman, Monroe. I don't know if they call it a peddler's permit, but it's probably something else. In this day and age, I don't know what public official would approve that. I have no idea who's going door to door, I have no idea what you're really selling.
Yeah.
I have no idea
No, it's not-
who you're employing, what their background is, like, there's a whole host of.
Well, there was recently something with an electric guy or something that we thought they were representing, like Orange Mountain or something. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Did he?
And you could, if that happens now, you can call the police right away, the cops come and they gotta go.
Ah,
Stratford does it all the time.
Yeah.
do they?
Do you know who else you have to get permits to knock on doors? Politicians.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So Pete will remember,
Thank God I'm not a politician.
when we were much younger, Jen, when me and Pete were young, you guys weren't even born yet. The guy used to come around and actually sharpen your scissors and
Yeah.
knives and things like that, and knock on your door, and he had the cart, and he'd come in the 60s, you know.
I'll have you know, I sold Electrolux. I threw the dirt on the rug. Yeah.
Thought that came up?
My mom bought a Kirby. She still has it. I mean, she can't do it now. It's 300 pounds, that vacuum, but she still has it, you know.
Well,
It's probably better than anything on the market
Seriously.
nowadays
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
but
Mayor Elise responded, you do not have to have a public hearing to change the schedule
Okay.
fees.
So we'll add those couple that we're talking about, and Trustee Olivia's gonna check on the one thing, and then next meeting we'll pass it. And I know we had a lot of trustees at the Martin Luther King march down Main Street, which is very nice, it was very cold, you know, may have added to this cold, but that's okay. The most people I've ever seen there, in
Yeah, it was
my
nice.
short amount of time doing it, it was very nice. That's all I had tonight, I think. Pete, Trustee Carroll, did you have anything?
No, it just brought me back when Jimmy said that. We used to have a pony that came
Oh, my.
around the town. And if Jimmy was to, you know, he's a big farm area up there, had a horse.
Wait a
that
minute,
went
time
around.
out. He's a farmer, oh, because he's got a garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I mean, the guy came around every year. It was really entertaining because you got your picture taken sitting on the horse.
Was that macaroni?
Yeah, one of them was.
Yeah, was it the name of the macaroni?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And that person, that's where you're talking about permits, right? That guy would have to get a permit.
If he was selling stuff, yeah. But again, we have historically never approved it, we just tabled it.
Okay.
You know, Pete and Mark Levinsky, I just wanted to mention, for the historical, there's a program for the 250 Years of America. I don't know if you saw that.
Yep.
They're creating a map of these small villages, main streets. So we're meeting with, Ronnie Coffey.
Ronnie Coffey and.
To pick out what
Jennifer-
story.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Ryan.
To put in there, so we'll be on the map on that, that'll be nice.
Story in there.
Yeah,
Take suggestions.
yeah. And will this make the paper for this week, MJ?
Not this weekend.
Okay. Just so the public knows that it was here, we ordered a new truck to remove snow, and it's 2 weeks out. So we've been doing okay without it, but with this upcoming storm this weekend, I'm a little worried, and I was speaking with both Joseph Murphy and Dave Hurst, who are running the DPW right now. And the truck that the board approved to purchase is a small dump, it's a medium-sized dump. It's got a 10-foot plow, and it holds a lot of extra salt that the smaller trucks don't. Long story short, in talking with Mr. Murphy and Mr. Hurst, I reached out to the county executive to see if we could either borrow a medium-sized truck, just to make sure if we get, you know, this storm, depending on what channel you turn on, it's 6 inches, 8, 10, 15, 12. So I reached out to him and answered the call, and he's gonna get back to me tomorrow. So just if the residents see a county truck in town that day, he recommended to send us a truck, a driver and everything. So if you see a county truck in town on that, if we get, you know, bombarded with this snow, if you see a county truck, it's legit, it's fine. I reached out to him, so. Okay? All right.
That's
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you all. Take care. Stay warm. Weather doesn't stop on this.